Enter the majestic world of Adrian, and your breath will be stolen away by its fantastic landscape. An ornate matrix of expansive, open grasslands, snow-capped mountains, sprawling golden sand deserts, and mysterious ocean basins. Life is bountiful on this planet, and though it has seen its fair share of war, a time of peace graces these lands in these times. Extending across the surface of Adrian are 12 spectacular continents, the largest and most beautiful of which is called Indolux, named for the tribe of elves that were first to discover the area. It has since become home of a large number of races and species that can be found nowhere else in the world and who inhabit each and every one of Indolux's many diverse biomes and ecosystems. This landmass is surrounded by several other continents and many gorgeous islands that is only but a day's or so travel away by boat. Although Indolux was once teeming with magic, today much of the enchantments have faded away. Mythical creatures were once so plentiful haven't been sighted in decades. Dragons and Pegasuses no longer soar through the skies. Unicorns no longer rest by babbling rocks. Mermaids no longer basking along the seashores. And there are no griffins watching you from up high in the trees. Sadly, they're all now thought to be extinct. Additionally, only a few villages remain where the craft of magic has been kept alive and fiercely protected by the descendants of the greatest wizards and mages in all of Adrian history. Centuries ago, these sorcerers were so powerful they could throw fire and manifest massive alcazars. Most had strong clairvoyant abilities. They were even capable of complete transmutation across great distances. However, divination has become more and more rare with each passing year. These days, it is both subject of wild folklore and legend telling. It is no longer part of everyday life. Despite this loss of magic, most of Indolux has enjoyed peaceful existence, free of violent war and battle for more than 200 years now. Commoners have only to fear the occasional small band of goblins, orcs, or bandits whose attacks are largely considered to be tomfoolery. Life in this part of the world has simply become quite enjoyable for all. The substantial lack of conflict has allowed for much growth across the landscapes within its many societies of great and wonderful people. The forests are flourishing with life, and much of the continent has become blessed with highly favorable and fertile soils. Rivers and streams flow freely, as the birds sing joyously and the boars grow fat. It's a place that the ancestors had always dreamed of. Warriors now use their bow and arrows more to capture the abundant wild beasts for delicious village feasts, and less to defend their lands against some feared enemy. Without a pressing need for weapons, blacksmiths have shifted their focus to producing basic tools, essential building materials, and helpful farming equipment. The people of Indolux now have the time and freedom to enjoy lavish festivals, lively carnivals, traveling cuisines, and thrilling gladiator games. And while armies still stand to protect the royal and noble families, defense forces are maintained largely for emergency purposes only. In these convenient times, one can hear the people joyfully shouting from shire to shire, "Long live Indolux!" Life is good throughout the lands, and worry is at an all-time minimum. Nestled in the heart of the most beautiful valley in all of Adrian is a small and venerable village called Awakens. It is home to many ancient races, including humans, elves, and halflings. It is guided by a wise and devoted council of elders. The crystal-clear waters of the Vaskendor River flow through the center of Awakens, dividing it into two areas. The villagers enjoy a never-ending and refreshing breeze that kisses the riverbanks and dances into the surrounding forest. These enchanting woods are home to an abundance of wild animals and provide just enough cover for protection without being so thick that one could become lost within them. The trees here are believed to bear the spirits of heroic warriors who passed, who have vowed to protect the region for all eternity. Located in the town square is the Gaunt Library of Antiquities, a famous historic library that is home to Adrian's most ancient writings. Due to its convenient location, it also serves as the meeting place of Awakens' Council of Elders. The Athenaeum has been carefully curated and meticulously maintained for dozens of generations by the Gaunt family, specifically by Edmund Gaunt the 17th, the town's maester and one of the 3 elders on the council. He and the other elders are delegates for Ossirun. The library's impressive collection contains a book on nearly every subject. It is the greatest resource for knowledge in all of Andalux. Edmund and his family are humans of a very special nature. He has 2 sons, Tybalt and Edmund Gaunt the 18th, whom he hopes will find suitable brides, with which they will expand the family name with many wonderful sons and daughters. Tybalt travels across Adrun in search of books and artifacts to add to the library's collection. Edmund the 18th assists in the upkeep of the library, and, much like his father, is a very keen mind and strong desire to learn as much as possible as he can in his lifetime. The maester has long been wed to a lovely wife named Helena. She is known for her kind and nurturing personality, which ultimately led to her passion working at the nearby orphanage. Mrs. Gaunt thoroughly enjoys playing with these innocent and underprivileged children and bestowing upon them her infinite unconditional love. She keeps the kids in line with her strict rules and hopes her efforts will ensure a bright future for each and every one of them. Together, she and her husband work tirelessly to help the minds of Ossirun flourish. In fact, they've both devoted their lives to this purpose. Draw Simon, the local huntsman, is one of Edmund's closest companions. For decades, Draw has visited the library almost daily, hoping to find information that will perfect his skill. He pursues its many books about the various beasts living in the surrounding forest. It is because of his studies that he has come to know specifically which tools and weapons work best for successfully hunting or capturing each and every known species in Andalux. He has also developed an impressive expertise in how to skin and dress these creatures, as well as how to prepare their meats. Over the years, Edmund befriended the Great Hunter, captivated by his insatisfiable thirst for knowledge and the way he applies it to his life quite practically. In addition to being the meeting place of the Council of Elders and a gathering site for the community, the Gaunt Library of Antiquities also serves as a hub for trading and bartering. It presents the village with a menagerie of important goods for neighboring villages and territories. Everyday necessities can be obtained here, as well as rare antiques and artifacts from times gone by. It is said that you might even find precious dragonclaw or griffin beak here, as long as you're on Edmund's good side. For years, Maester Gaunt has taken under his wing one female monk called Rene. Edmund has helped her to trace her elven lineage and to better understand both her genealogical history and the culture of her people. The two have become quite close over the years and often discuss the future they envision for Ossirun. While Ossirun is known to be a calm and serene location, there has recently been a rash of unusual incidents, strange, inexplicable happenings that defy logic. Additionally, some of the villagers have exhibited bizarre behaviors that, although seemingly non-threatening, have become the cause for concern amongst the other residents. Feelings of both bewilderment and unease are now beginning to spread throughout the township. In fact, a group of odd travelers entered Ossirun only a few days ago, the likes of which have never been seen by those living in this area, save for a couple of elders. It wasn't long before the newcomers began to parade through the streets, preaching about some almighty god who required the villagers' immediate worship. No one really knew what to make of these strange and mysterious acts. They wondered if the group had ill intentions, or if they were completely mad. Shortly after the arrival, there was a spike in the number of unusual incidents that have recently emerged in the area. Suddenly, crops were ready for harvest a month ahead of schedule. The village orphans were somehow appeared on roofs without any means of getting there. The happening seemed almost miraculous, and a perplexing energy seemed to be lurking over the quaint village. Today, the great huntsman, Draw Simon, has returned from a successful hunt with 5 fat boar in tow, and the butcher's already preparing cuts of bacon, flank steaks, tenderloins, and ham hocks. A feast was in order for the residents and visitors. However, many were quite wary of the strange new visitors. They were unsure if they should be rather friendly and inviting, or if instead they should be fearful of them. The uncertainty was beginning to spark a bit of chaos. Also, Irene the elven monk has traveled by mule to Aussie from the monastery in the nearby countryside. She has arrived with her usual haul of goods, with which she will trade and barter at the Library of Antiquities, just as she did every week. Upon entering the town square, Irene could sense the unease and confusion. She questioned it, if it were mere convolution or if it's something that required a more serious and firm approach. The monk decided she would speak to Edmund about it as soon as the opportunity presented itself. This is your current state of affairs in the charming township of Aussie, and so your day begins.